Hello, everyone, and good afternoon. We are excited to be joining you again today. My name is Allison Mancini, your holistic nutritionist, and I'm joined with my co-host.
I'm Julietta, the magical PT. Welcome to Voices of the Goddess. Here we interview women who have created success in their life, and they are here to help give you some tips on how to become the goddess that you are meant to be. Today we have Maria with us. Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for being a guest on our show. Can you please tell our audience a little bit about who you are and what you do?
Sure. Thank you so much for having me today. And just because I'm telling people to be a goddess, does that mean I'm a goddess too?
You are a goddess, Maria.
Awesome. That's a new word for me. I'm going to use it. I'll see if my wife can use it as well. Hi, everybody. My name is Maria Medina, and I'm a local business owner. I own a local print shop in Fort Lauderdale. I can see a couple of people already commenting. That's amazing. As Julietta mentioned, I am really involved with the community and I love giving back. So I would love to give back some of my insight as to how I got to where I am today to help you guys out.
Cool. So we have questions. We ask all of our guests these questions, and I'm super curious to hear the answer to the first one because I've known Maria for a while and she's an interesting character. So what is, or what would you like to be your superpower?
So the funny thing about this question is I had a lengthy debate with my wife yesterday as to what my superpower could actually be. And we came to the conclusion that my superpower is the chameleon, right? I'm able to blend and fit in different situations. I'm able to understand where people are coming from and really fit to whatever situation I'm in. So that means I'm adaptable to change. Not that I like it, but I'm adaptable to it. So I can really get along with different people and just be relatable, I guess. So I'm a little bit of a chameleon because I'd like to go out party. I like to play sports, but I also like staying at home, watching TV and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'll agree on that one. You know, what I know about you and my experience of you, that is definitely a superpower that you have. And it's a great one to have because people are so different and you have to be able to change and adapt to whoever you're dealing with at the moment. So awesome.
And I think that sort of comes from like my background of traveling all the time.
Yes, you have. Like, you've had an exciting life. Like,
yeah, I know. I was scheduling this and I was looking at your bio and I'm like, well, I had no idea about 95% of the stuff in your bio. So I think you need to give a little tiny background to our audience, like where you're from and a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm originally from Bogota, Colombia. Everybody just assumes I'm American and I have a very generic American accent, but as soon as I switch to Spanish, me vuelvo colombiana porque se me cambia el acento. So people can tell straight away that I'm from Bogota. My dad moved us to Egypt because of his job when I was 11. And I was playing soccer. So soccer was my whole life and that's what I was doing. So it was an easy transition to move when I was 11 to Egypt, and then when I was 14 to move to Spain. And ultimately I ended up moving to the UK, to London when I was 16. And that's where I met my beautiful, beautiful wife. And after that, about 9 years into a corporate job, I was just working within an organization because an injury in soccer prevented me from going anywhere further at 17. I stayed with the same company for about 8-9 years. And then we decided, you know what, I need to be my own boss. I need to be able to make a change, affect people, really make a difference. And it doesn't really matter what job I'm doing so long as I'm able to impact the community. This print shop opportunity came up. It was amazing. And I found that by helping people market their business, grow their business, I was really giving back to other people.
Yeah, I knew nothing. I knew none of that until I read your bio. I was like, wait, what? She's from where? Because you have no accent as far as I'm concerned. Like, you can't, but you just spoke Spanish.
That's part of her chameleon abilities.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So when you were
I bet
that,
you.
Yeah, when you were saying that about the chameleon, I was like, yeah, I can totally see that. And I don't know you very well, so I think we've only met in person a few times, but yeah, that's really cool.
But I'm betting you had a British accent when you lived over there, yes?
No, I
No?
didn't. No, and it never changed. I was always known as the American in the UK. All my friends were, they were even though I was Colombian, everybody knew I was Colombian, but the accent was just like, oh, the American girls here, or something like that. But I will say this: I have been to British school the majority of my life, and I'll say, throw that in the bin. I'm going to go to the loo. So I'll have some Britishisms that'll sneak in there, and people are like, they get thrown off, but it's so little that they just ignore it.
And what I didn't know, I thought you had met your wife here. I didn't realize you met her over there. Mm-hmm. So that was new for me.
Yeah, she's a Brit. She's a full-on Brit. That's where I met her. And then
So does she have the full-on accent?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And when I first bought my print shop, it was really funny. We made her record our answering machine because we thought it was really cool.
Yeah, because you know how many of us on our GPS have the British voice, right?
I used the Irish dude. I have the Irish dude, but I'm like, I'm not quite certain that this is really an Irish accent, but anyway, it's good enough.
British to me, but yeah.
No, there's two. Well, you can have Irish, you can have British, and you can have Australian.
Yeah, but the Australian one I can't understand.
Oh.
And you can have male and female, right? You can switch between genders.
Yes. Yeah.
I love the British one, just when it tries to say stuff like 95. Get on I-95.
So let me ask you a question before we get into our other questions, because I'm curious. How do you feel? Because I know you were big into soccer. Obviously, that was probably what you were going to do. You wanted to play professional soccer, I'm guessing, because you'd say an injury took you out. I've been there with my son with ice hockey, but I'm curious for you how that experience through soccer has played out in your life. Like, do you feel that has benefited you in ways now that you're in the business world? And how do you think that has helped you?
So I think the chameleon part really comes from that, right? Being able to relate to other people. I was very socialized because of sports. So that is one of the main advantages. I got a lot of independence from it because at the age of 11, I was going from Egypt. I was going to Cyprus to go play soccer, basketball, and volleyball. So I was really trained, and it really got me out of my comfort zone because I couldn't be shy in sports. You can be, but you can't be. And then by the time I got to the UK, I was so comfortable in myself that it really allowed me to make the relationships that I needed to progress. And the injury was was in one of the major clubs over there. I was 17. I tore 3 ligaments in my right ankle. And once you pop your ankle once, it's just gone. But ultimately, I think it prepared me to just pivot, to be able to adapt to change fast. And I think that's one of the main benefits of sports. It really socializes you. So I'd love, any kids that are able to, even other types of sports, not like really physical sports or activities like that, clubs like that really help socialize you. Like I was in Scouts as well. So anything like that.
In Egypt?
No, I was in Scouts in Colombia before I moved.
Okay. That's cool. No, I appreciate you saying that, because I found a lot of the qualities you're talking about. I see my son was an ice hockey player. My daughter was a competitive dancer. And I see that in both of them. They're very much like you are, and Julietta knows them both. They can hold conversations with anybody. They can go into a situation. They may not be totally comfortable in it, but they're able to kind of power through that because they've been in that place before. And I like your comment about, you can't really be shy in sports, because you're right, because they'll walk all over you. Like the rest of everybody else that's trying to get ahead of you will just like trample you. So yeah, I think and I'm sorry about the injury, because I understand that. My son tore his MCL 3 times. And after the 3rd time, he's like, I'm done. Can't do this.
So I did it once, and then 3 years later, I kept doing it. And I got warned, and I got told, he said, if you keep doing this, if you keep playing, you're going to end up in a wheelchair by the time you're 25.
Yeah.
And I was 21, and I said, oh, wow, 25. That's a great soccer career. But
yeah, I get that.
It wasn't really viable. So I completely pivoted. I went into marketing. That's what my degree is. I said, what's a fly through degree that I can take that I can apply to whatever it is that I want to do? Because I had no idea what I wanted to do.
I think that's so common when you're in sports like that. Because my son did communications because he's like, I have no clue what I'm doing after this. Yeah.
And luckily I was able to apply it, and then I applied it here. I applied it to Minuteman Press.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Totally digressed. But
yeah. But even when you do know what you're doing, that can change at any time. We know that. We've discussed that so many times. Yes. But yeah, we got to get through our questions here. So Maria, what is a book that has greatly impacted your life?
So I have a bunch of books that have impacted. My first like memory of a good book was one that was given to me by my dad, which was Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And I'll share that with you because my latest book completely contradicts that book, because you're supposed to learn about finances with Rich Dad and Poor Dad. And as an adult, I am horrible with finances. I hate accounting. I have no idea what I'm doing. I hired an accountant to do that, right? I don't know that. But recently last year, I hired a coach, and it's, you know what you don't know, and I want to learn. So I know that I didn't know about accounting. So my latest one, I actually have it here with me. It's actually called The Accounting Game, and it's a lemonade stand, and it's actually an interactive book. And if you hate accounting, I highly recommend it. It is so fun. It basically teaches you about accounting by running your own fictional lemonade stand.
I need that book.
I'm telling you, a lot of people hate it, but you need to know a little bit about your finances to be able to run your own business. And this teaches you so much from that. But yeah, so my first ever book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. But if I were to recommend a book right now, The Accounting Game, for sure.
And I think, we've talked about this on other episodes, like for whatever reason, and, they talk about it, it's like how our brains are wired as women. But math and accounting and those kinds of stuff are something that women in general, whether we struggle with it, we don't like it, we kind of push it aside and we're all capable of this. We need to educate ourselves, and we need to take control of it. And so I love that. I'm going to check out that book.
I feel like there must be some cellular memory from centuries ago that keeps us in this weird place with finances as women. Right?
I think so too, because I love math, right? I have the personality whereby I love that there can be a right and a wrong answer. I hate gray area, and I know the rest of life is a gray area. But I love having a right and a wrong answer, so I love math. But when it comes to finances, I don't know. It's like a block, like a mental block. Like I can work out the numbers, but I don't know what that means.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's, creating the meaning from the numbers is important. Cool. All right. Our next question is, what is your favorite self-care practice?
One of my favorite self-care practices is just watching TV with my wife and just relaxing, just not thinking about anything else that's going on, just really focusing on time with my wife, talking to her, and really having fun watching new TV shows. Right now, we're actually watching iZombie, and it's hysterical, and you just get lost on stuff like that. It's just fun sci-fi TV shows. We love that. And every now and then we'll go to a convention. So we're actually planning to go one. I think it's in October, and it's in Texas, because she's a huge Charmed fan. And one of the Charmed sisters is going to be there. So we're going to go, and it's going to be super fun.
I feel like I need to watch this Charmed. This keeps coming up.
I know it came up in one of our other episodes. My question is, have you guys watched the new Charmed? Oh. And you haven't. So then you don't
know thank you.
To share with me. I mean, I will agree. You can't, the original is the original.
Don't swear at me, Julietta. The new Charmed. No.
I'm totally a Charmed fan, and I watched the new one just because I had to. I was curious. And yeah, it's the old Charmed is way, way better. But so I'm curious, which one is going to be there?
Holly Marie Coombs, Piper.
Okay, cool.
And if you know that she's going, probably Brian Krause, Leo is going to go. So there'll be a couple.
Cool. I love that.
But I myself, I'm a Buffy fan. I'm a huge Buffy fan. And that's how we met. That's how I met my wife, through a meetup group for Buffy the Vampire Slayer fans. When you stop caring about what other people think and just do what you love, you're gonna meet the right people.
Absolutely.
And all my friends were like, what are you doing? Where are you going to this? And I'm like, no, I love Buffy. I'm gonna go. And I met my wife.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
But also what I loved about this too is that like there's a piece of me, the judgmental, there's this Judge Judy that lives in my head that judges everything. And there's a piece of me that, even though I watch TV, obviously we're talking about it here, but I have this judgment that, watching TV is bad. And I was actually watching TV with a friend the other day, and they were like, yeah, I just need something to like take my mind off of everything right now. And it was like, yeah, TV can be that thing that just like gets you out of your head, makes the hamster wheel stop, makes the monkey brain stop. And you can just immerse yourself in another world for a while and just let everything recharge. And so like hearing you say that, that's just kind of like,
cements it.
Yeah, it's like, hey, it's okay to watch TV, and I don't have to judge myself anymore when I want to watch TV. It's good self-care. So there we go.
No, yeah, you can get lost in other people's lives, and like especially like murder mystery ones. We really love like murder mystery, like real life ones, and you start coming up with theories, and you're like really interactive, talking about like who did what.
Did you watch the Cecil Hotel?
No, I haven't. Okay, so then I'm going to write that down.
Okay, go to Netflix and look up Cecil Hotel. It's the famous hotel in LA, and there's a huge murder mystery. It's it's so good.
Okay.
So I'm writing it down.
Wrote it down. I wrote it down.
Okay, I will admit I am guilty. My guilty pleasure is 100% that. Like at the end of the day, after I've worked a full day, I've been doing, I'm doing everything. I'm making dinner. I'm dealing with the dogs, dealing with my daughter now that she's home from college for the summer. Crazy busy working. And at the very, very end of the day, like 7:30, 8 o'clock, I like to sit in front of the TV and zone out for a half an hour to an hour in front of something. Like I jump all over the place. I do documentaries. I do like Bridgerton and, all these trashy, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what you want to call them. I'm on Hulu. I'm on Amazon Prime. I'm on Netflix. Now I'm on Disney Plus.
Oh my God, Disney Plus. There's so many. You don't even need cable anymore.
Okay, Disney Plus, hello, for adults is amazing. They have, first of all, they have all the great movies we grew up with, first of all. And secondly, they have so many great things. Like if you haven't seen Cruella yet, so good. Anyways,
okay.
I just went off on that. Sorry.
All right, we got to get our fourth question in. And Miss Maria, super successful business owner, we know that somehow you've created accountability. You don't get to the success level that you have without it. So share with our listeners, how do you create accountability in your life?
So right now I have a coach, but before I had a coach, I had to be accountable for myself. And I was really, really horrible at it to begin with. So don't be scared to be horrible from the beginning, right? At first, I came in here and I was like, yes, let's go, business, go. Let's do everything. We're going to participate in everything. And I almost burned myself out after a year. So I used a little bit of my wife to help me, maintain some balance. So I tell her things that I'm going to do. And she's always so good about like following up. How's this going? How did that work out? But a little tip that I got, and I've been using this, and this was actually a present from my wife's grandma, and it is a planner, and it's a little planner where I literally write everything that I'm doing, and it has hourly, it's got weekly, it's got everything, and I put everything that I'm going to do, and I make it a point to cross it out at the end of the week. It's so satisfying to cross it out as you go. But if I say I'm going to do something, I write it on my planner and I make sure that I get it done. And if I don't get it done that week, that's fine. Stuff happens. You can't always control what happens around you. So I move it to the following week, but I make sure that stuff gets done. It gets moved through my little planner.
What's the brand name? Is that it? The little planner? No.
It's called Erin Corden.
Oh yeah, I know her. She's got great planners.
Yes, and they can do like weekly, they can do monthly, but I use the hourly one. And I'm telling you, this is my third year using it, and it has been amazing.
Yeah, she's got great stuff on her for planning.
She's got little fun Post-it notes that you can have fun with, and stickers and stuff like that. So it makes it fun.
This is a whole side of Maria I've never seen.
I'm glad you say that. Hopefully a lot of other people are going to say the same thing.
So I have to go back to the comment you made about accountability, because this has come up before in our podcast, but it's been a while since this has come up. So one of the things that I did for the very first time at almost the age of 50 was I hired a coach for the very first time a year ago. And what blew my mind was I haven't been told to hire a coach. People talked about it, and I should have done it a long time ago. So if you're listening to us right now and you have never hired a coach, I cannot highly recommend it enough. And this is the connection I want to bring in, especially because Maria is on here with us today. Okay, so Maria spent all her soccer years with a coach. My kids and their activities always had coaches. When we were growing up, we had coaches, we had mentors, whatever they were. But all of a sudden, when we get into the business world, we seem to think we don't need a coach. And I am guilty of it. I was that way for most of my life. Get yourself a coach. If you are struggling to hold yourself accountable or finding ways to do that, there are so many coaches out there right now. You can reach out to Julietta and I and Maria. We have a pocket full of coaches that we could refer you to, but I strongly recommend it because it truly can change your life. And Julietta, I know you've had coaches and done programs throughout the years. So
for sure. Since we're getting close to that time, I'm just going to do it anyway. Like, this is my takeaway right now. Like, I'm presently in this moment. I'm not actively working with any coach. And I feel like this is like my message from the universe, like, hey, it's time to get someone on your butt again. And, it's time to level up, and leveling up works the best when you have a coach there to show you the way to the next level. Yeah, I like that. Cool.
Okay.
What's your takeaway, Allison?
This is really funny, but my takeaway is not to feel guilty anymore about watching my shows. That's it. I love a good hour at the end of the day to just sit and totally veg out. And like you said, escape out of whatever I'm dealing with and just relax. It is extremely relaxing to me. I don't spend a ton of time on TV, and I really watch like very particular things. But yeah, I'm just not going to feel bad about it anymore. I'm going to enjoy every single moment of it.
Well, and you say that what's been judgment has been coming up for me again. Like, I know I've lived my whole life trying to be a perfectionist and holding myself to standards and like judging myself so bad, and judging other people too. But ultimately, even judging other people was so minute compared to the level that I would judge myself. And I've done a lot of work on letting that go, and I've made a boatload of progress. But this past 2 weeks, I've seen myself again and realizing like there's still a layer of judgment there that I haven't let go of. And it's like, just like having that awareness, it's like, yeah, you can let go of even more judgment. And so, everybody out there, if you're judging yourself for something, like, stop it.
And that also applies. It's funny you say that, because I just went through, and I don't know if you saw my social medias, but I just went through Tony Robbins for the last 4 days. And I did it in 2017. I just did it over this weekend. And that's one of the things, like, who's setting your deadlines? Who's setting your goals? And it's you. And are you setting, unachievable goals and then berating yourself for something that you couldn't have possibly even achieved? Like, why are you doing this to yourself? Because the only person that could truly affect your state of mind is yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So true.
Maria.
Was that all the Tony Robbins was all virtual, I assume, right?
Yes, it was all virtual, and they're coming to West Palm Beach in November. So if you want to do that, that's going to be a live one, the first live one in 2 years.
Yeah, a lot of them are coming back this fall live, lot of stuff. So it should be interesting.
Yes. All right. Maria, what is your takeaway from the show?
My takeaway, I actually take it from Allison saying she doesn't know me very well, is to actually try and connect with people that I feel like I know but don't know quite well. So I might start reaching out to some people that, I've connected with multiple times. We've seen each other at different things, but I haven't really gotten to know and getting to know their story. Mm-hmm. I think that's my main takeaway. And if I could say something about the coaching, I know a lot of people may not be able to afford it. Something that some people are doing right now from the event that we just did is they created a little peer group, and they created a WhatsApp group with a bunch of people. They set goals and they're holding each other accountable. So it doesn't really have to be a coach, but if you tell somebody else what your goal is and what you're looking to achieve, that's another way to hold yourself accountable.
For sure. Because, Julietta and I did that when we went into the pandemic. I don't know, it was a couple weeks in, and I called her up one day and I said, this is really freaking me out. I feel very unsure. It's just so much unknown, and I don't really like it. And I have no clue I was literally in the middle of trying to figure out what to do with my life. And I said, can we have a phone call every week just so I can bounce ideas off of you, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, yeah, that sounds great. Okay. Those phone calls, and I'm not taking credit at all because she had to say yes to me to do this. But those phone calls led up to us really growing our relationship as friends and as co-hosts and becoming podcasters and doing all these things. Now we have over 30 interviews we've done with women that are just amazing. And it's so exciting and so awesome to see and meet and hear all these amazing things that these women are doing. So yes, accountability peer groups are amazing too, or an accountability person or something like that.
Yes. All right. Unless either of you have something else to add, it's time for us to wrap up. So first, I want to thank you, Maria, for coming on the show. This was great having you. And great for Allison to get to know you better.
No.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
We've run into each other at networking events and through, and we're friends on social media and we comment on each other's stuff, but we've never actually had a conversation like this. So this was nice.
This is great. So, and thank you to our audience for listening. If you've liked what you heard, please subscribe, share, comment, review, all that good stuff. Please do it because we want to keep this going. Women supporting and helping each other, lifting each other up. And everything that we talked about in this show, you'll find links to it, how to find Maria, how to find the things that we talked about. It'll all be in the show notes and in the comments. So get connected and have a magical day.
Bye. Bye, Maria. It was good to see you.